Well, good evening, everybody.
Hi, Will.
Semper Fi to the Marines. That's no, first off, let me just say thank you for everybody coming out tonight to talk about some issues that are very, very special to us, right? But they're also vital to success. They're also important issues to our fights, right? They're vital to success of our fights, both as veterans and as part of the working class. You know, there are 231,000 veterans who call Iowa home and 721,000 right across the river in Illinois. And nearly every single one of them, us, is a working class person. And we'll get more to that in a little bit. Because, you know, I came here tonight, I have some good news to share with you. I have some not so good news to share with you. But then a little more good news to share with you. So the first bit of good news is based on the rhetoric we so often hear. Everybody loves veterans. There's nobody out there running for anything. They won't pitch that baby aside they're getting ready to kiss if they get a chance to put their arm around a veteran. Put a veteran in their TV commercial. Get up on the stage or in the truck bed and talk about how much they love veterans, have backs of veterans, want to stand with veterans. But you know, every time I hear anybody talking like that, I always have a few questions for them. Now, you say you're pro-veteran. Was it pro-veteran to support right to work? No. You say you're pro-veteran, but you want to destroy and privatize our VA. You say you're pro-veteran, but you support bad trade deals that rip jobs from veterans and send them overseas. You see, that's the bad news. That rhetoric isn't always matched up with somebody's record or matched up with what somebody's policies and ideas are. The first person I want to talk to you about that tonight is a fellow running for President of the United States named Donald Trump. You see, Donald Trump loves to get up on a stage and talk about how much he loves veterans. Yet, he also says that he wants to do away with the GI Bill. He said he loves veterans and wants to destroy and privatize the VA. And Donald Trump also speaks in a remarkably capricious manner about our nuclear arsenal. And has no plan to keep us, our communities, and our nation safe. He says he has a plan, but he won't share any of his plan. Aside from attacking our military, insulting veterans, alienating our allies, and pandering to authoritarian dictators like Vladimir Putin and even Saddam Hussein. But it goes much deeper than that, Mr. Trump. You see, over the course of this campaign, Donald Trump has also said that when young women and young men are hit by roadside bombs in Iraq and Afghanistan, they just go for a little ride in the air. This is somebody who compared their love life, for the family audience, in the 80s and 90s to serving in combat in Vietnam. I don't think it was like that. This is somebody who just 2 weeks ago said that if you suffer from post-traumatic stress, you do so because you're not strong. You can't handle it. Mighty rich comes from somebody who's kept up at night in a cold sweat over somebody sending him a mean tweet. This is somebody who attacks Gold Star families. Where are we, gang? Where are we in our politics? We have somebody, in this case, the Republican Party's nominee for President of the United States, attacking Gold Star families. People who have already sacrificed more than many can even begin to comprehend. This is somebody who attacks prisoners of war. Attacks people like John McCain, suggests that somehow they are less than because they were taken prisoner. And this is someone who, just a little over a month ago, said, remarked on a stage, much like this one, that he'd always wanted a Purple Heart. You know, because of my role as the director of the Veterans Council, a reporter called me about 10 minutes after Donald Trump said that he'd always wanted a Purple Heart and said, hey, you're a veteran, what do you have to say about that? This person really knew nothing about me. And I did something that you're never supposed to do when a reporter calls. I said the first thing that came to mind. And what I told him, when I heard Mr. Trump say that he'd always worn a Purple Heart, was the first thing that I thought of was August the 19th of 2004. You see, on August the 19th of 2004, I was awarded a Purple Heart. And my Marine brother, who got his arm blown off that day, was awarded a Purple Heart. My Marine brother who lost an eye that day was awarded a Purple Heart. And my Marine brother who was killed that day was awarded a Purple Heart. Of course, that had to be accepted by his widow. You see, as much as Mr. Trump likes to talk about how much military training he received and how much tactical military knowledge he has and acquired by attending that elite military prep school in his youth, what they failed to teach him was that Purple Hearts were reminders of very bad days. And there's nobody out there with one that ever won it. This is somebody, gang, who categorically wants to send more young American women and men into combat. Not his kids. Not his kids. Donnie Jr., Eric, Ivanka, they're not putting on a flak vest anytime soon. But if Donald Trump's elected president, your kids will, your kids will, and your kids will. And it's mighty bold talk coming from somebody who died service when it was their time to serve with the help of multiple deferments and having a rich dad. But I gotta let you know, this anti-veteran, anti-working class nonsense extends well beyond the race for the presidency. You see, when you hear me out there talk about those politicians who like to talk about how much they love veterans, and they're back here in Illinois or in Iowa, but then when they're in Washington, D.C., they're against us every chance they get. You know, people like Mark Kirk come to mind, right? I mean, Mark Kirk says he's pro-veteran, yet Mark Kirk votes against funding for veterans' education, job training, and health care benefits. And it goes deep with Mark Kirk, too. Because let me tell you, this is somebody who is a stolen valor violator. This is somebody who repeatedly has lied and misrepresented their service. He served honorably for 23 years in the United States Navy. Nobody's taking that away from him. But then why does he have to say that he was Naval Intelligence Officer of the Year? He wasn't. Mark Kirk says he's a combat veteran. He isn't. And Mark Kirk tries to portray himself as a person of integrity, and he's not. But I promised you I had some more good news, right? I have some more good news. And the good news is that we have, in our endorsed candidates, champions for veterans and the working class. People like Congresswoman Booster. Right? People like Congresswoman Tammy Duckworth, soon to be U.S. Senator. And in terms of this race for the presidency, let me say it as crystal clear as I can. I'm a veteran, I'm working class, and I'm with her. And I'm with Hillary Clinton because she's with us. You see, Hillary Clinton doesn't look at veterans and the working class as political props. To her, we're human beings, and we always have been. That's why it was First Lady Hillary Clinton who worked to raise awareness around issues that were affecting Gulf War veterans. That's why it was Senator Hillary Clinton who championed legislation like the 21st Century GI Bill. And that's why it'll be President Hillary Clinton working along Congressman Gusto, working along Senator Duckworth. It'll be President Hillary Clinton who will work to expand veterans' job training, health care, and education benefits. And under no circumstances allow our VA to be destroyed and privatized. But there's one more thing. There's one more thing. Secretary Clinton fundamentally understands that what a veteran needs access to more than anything upon returning home is not another standing ovation at Soldier Field. It's not another yellow ribbon on the back of a car. What a veteran needs access to upon returning home is access to a job, a good job that allows the veteran a good job that allows the veteran to live a life with dignity and live out the American dream we fought to protect and defend. You can't call yourself pro-veteran if you're anti-union. You cannot do it. And I know that the folks in this room, look, when we do our job, right? When we have our work set conversations, when we're having our phone conversations, when we're having conversations in the community, people that you may worship with, participate in community activities with, then, you know what, then we're going to do our job. Because when we lift up who we really are, right, and what we believe in, and we lift up who the opposition is and what they really believe in, the people are on our side. And if we do our job, then we're going to continue to have great representation in the United States Congress, people like Congresswoman Busta. We're going to have great representation in the U.S. Senate with people like Senator Tammy Duckworth. And in the White House, we're going to have great representation with President Hillary Clinton. Woo! That's all I have. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody? Anything?
Was there any response from the Trump campaign after your video became so popular?
You know, 17 million people watched that video, and I'm hoping that somehow Mr. Trump got a chance to see it. Well, you know, the New York Times today published every person that's been personally attacked by Donald Trump on Twitter. And I was heartbroken not to see my name. No, this is, I told somebody earlier, our long slog through the bright orange muck of Trump is nearly complete. You know, his campaign is running on toxic fumes, and the tank's almost empty, and pretty soon, hopefully, he'll just be crawling back into Trump Tower, and we won't have to hear any more of his fascist, racist, sexist, xenophobic rhetoric anymore.
Thank you.
All right, President,
That's it?
all right, well, I mean, does anybody else have any questions? I'm happy to answer any questions or anything we can. I mean, look, you take somebody who here's from Illinois.
Right here.
Right. Now, your governor. How in the world can this person say that he cares one bit about veterans when he attacks veterans at work every single day? But what are we doing to communicate that, gang? What are we doing to communicate that? It's on us to remind people that the veteran class and the working class are one and the same. Look, I didn't run into any Koch brothers when I was in Iraq. I don't think you were serving in Vietnam with too many millionaires. Nobody did. Look, for as long as young women and young men have been asked to set down their tools, pick up arms, and go to war, they have nearly always come from the working class. Right? And when they get through with service, we return to the working class. Look, you know one of the largest employers outside of DOD in the country of veterans is? The Postal Service. So I got news for you. If you want to privatize the Postal Service, you're trying to put veterans out of work. If you attack prevailing wage and Davis-Bacon laws, you're taking money away from veterans. Every time, I don't care what sector you're in, what state you're in, every time you attack a group of workers, you are categorically attacking a group of veterans. Because I could leave here tonight and walk onto any job site, in any shop, mill, factory, you name it, and say, would all the veterans here raise their hand? And it'd look just like this. It would look just like this. But it's on us to communicate that. Yes, ma'am?
I just want to make the point that not only veterans here, but also Social Security and Medicare, that's a big part of the programs that help retired veterans and senior stuff. That's important also, right?
Social Security, it's a great point. Do you realize what anytime somebody says that they want to do away with Social Security, they are also saying that they want to take survivors benefits away from 4,000 children whose parents were killed in Iraq and Afghanistan, who get that through Social Security every month. They want to take disability benefits away from 723,000 veterans who are severely disabled, who get that through Social Security every month. And they want to take that away from, as you mentioned, the retirees, the 7 million veterans who are retirees and collected Social Security. There is not an issue affecting the working class that is not also affecting veterans. Lock and step every bit of the way.
Now they want their bonus money back.
You got that right. Look, that's what they do. They wave that flag with one hand and they got their hand in our pocket with the other. Anybody else? Anything you didn't want to talk about? Well, again, look, I can't thank you enough for having me here tonight. But I mentioned earlier those number of veterans who live in your states, who live here in Iowa, and who live across the river in Illinois. And I know when you're out, I know the people in this room. Look, you're knocking doors. You're taking packets out, and you're knocking doors. I know that on Tuesdays you're having a cold piece of not so good pizza, and you're at a phone bank. I know that you're leafleting plant gates and on your work site. I know that you're doing that work. And I know you're doing that work for you, right? I know you're doing that work for your family. I know you're doing that work for your class. But I just want to let you know that you're also doing that work for this combined 2 states, for the 1 million veterans who live in Illinois and Iowa. And as a veteran, I can't thank you enough for that. So, again, thank you very much.